Guys, welcome back to my channel. So today is just going to be a hangout sesh where I try some new products. The stars of the show are absolutely these new products from Too Faced. You guys, this is my first time trying them, but 100% obsessed with the way that they performed. I used this Turn Up the Light. I love the packaging of this. I don't know why. It's like a soft focus powder in the middle and then two highlights on the side. And I use that soft focus powder underneath my eyes. And I just feel like it makes my skin just look amazing, right? It brightened it up just a little bit more. And then this Neutral Girl Heaven palette by Too Faced called the Born This Way, The Natural Nudes. This palette is so gorgeous, dude. So beautiful. If you are a neutral girl or you love neutral shades, shimmers, but you want some with mattes in there. So the way that they set this palette up are these rectangles right here are all mattes and then the squares are all shimmers, and these are seriously so beautiful. You can create so many different looks with this. You could do a bridal look, you could do just everyday natural look, you could do a glam look, and dude, this is just the perfect palette. Perfect, perfect, perfect. I'm obsessed. Yes, Rooster, you are making an appearance. The kitty says hello. But yeah, I featured these products. I also used a new lipstick from Bare Minerals, which I also have on my lips. I'm obsessed with it as well. If you want to see this look, then keep on watching. Let's get into the video.
Okay, first things first, moving into the skin, I end up mixing these two foundations. I really wanted to try that Urban Decay Naked foundation, but it's too orange, and it's still too orange. I tried mixing it with the Double Wear. As you can see my face, I'm like, is this gonna be too orange? And I think I make it work. I end up making it work at the end, but at first it was a little worrisome. As you can see, my face naturally is just lighter than the rest of my body, so I feel like as I was blending it in, it worked, but as you can see, it's definitely pulling way more orange. And again, it's because I have the wrong shade, but I wanted to try that foundation so badly. I mixed it up with the, Estee Lauder Double Wear, and it worked well together. I felt like my skin looked really nice, and that's all I'm doing here is just blending the two together. I'm using this sponge by Tarte. It's not my favorite sponge ever. I feel like, you know, the cheap e.l.f. sponge works just fine, but, you know, I had it and I hadn't used it in a long time. So I'm just really working the foundation, and as you can see, I left all of this in so you can see, you know, that I spend a little bit of time on my foundation and make sure that I blend it in seamlessly. All right, and for my cream bronzer slash contour, I'm using this Makeup Forever concealer, and I have not used this dark shade. I like these concealers for spot treatment, not really so much for underneath my eyes, so I'm like, let me try it for my contour, and it worked amazing. I really love the Makeup Forever HD foundation, so I'm like, yes, let's use this concealer. And I'm just using this Huda brush to work it in, and as you can see, the color worked out perfectly. It's not too orange or anything like that, and I just slowly pat it in, work it into the foundation. I wanted to make sure that it wasn't too dark, you know. Again, this wasn't the first time I used this shade, and it ended up working perfectly. And I wanted to show you when I contour my nose. A lot of you always ask me why I only do one side, and it's because I have a break on the other side. It's not really a break. I've never broken my nose or anything. It's just I have this inconsistent part. I have an imperfect nose, right? And I would say my least favorite part about my nose is that break, and it's super hard to contour it. And yeah, that's why I really don't emphasize that side. As you can see, I did end up putting product on that side, and it did emphasize that break. So yeah, I'm not a pro when it comes to my nose contour. Of course, I'm highlighting underneath my eyes with some concealer, and then I am going to blend it all out. This sponge doesn't get into those little corners very well, so you'll see me go in with the brush, and I like blending out the highlight that's on my nose and my chin with the brush as well. So I'll just blow everything out like this, and then I'll blend it out with the brush. Don't forget the chin, and then of course I just go everywhere that I can to make sure it's all blended. And you see the sponge doesn't really get into those little crevices very well. So this is when I go in with the brush, and then I'll just, you know, feather out those edges so they're nice and seamless. under my eyes, and this is when I'll start blending out the concealer. The reason why I use a different concealer for my nose is because I don't really need it to be as thick. You know, Shape Tape is kind of thick, and the Born This Way is a little thinner in consistency, and I also like this color. So once I have that on my nose, I'll blend it out again with the sponge and just melt everything together once I've placed all of the colors, and that's what I'm doing here. Forehead, cheeks. See, I feel like the color ended up working really well. It doesn't look so orange. Again, my body is much tanner, so it ended up working out. I'm going to set my under eyes now with the Laura Mercier translucent powder using Tati's sponge. I'm obsessed with this sponge for setting powders. It's like perfect. It makes your skin look so flawless and smooth, and I just love it. I really use this sponge every single day, and my favorite way is with powder for sure. And I'm just setting, you know, those places where we put the lighter color, chin, underneath my eyes, underneath the contour, and that's basically to just make it look more smooth and like your face is seamless. Does that make sense? And set your whole face. And I like the Laura Mercier translucent because it's translucent. There's no color, so I feel like I'm not really adding more product. Then to bronze, I'm going with this Tarte Park Avenue Princess bronzer. I haven't used it in a while. I've been trying to go into my makeup collection and use products that I haven't used in a while, so that's why that was a random choice. Then going in with the star of the show, it's the Born This Way, the Natural Nudes Complexion Inspired Eyeshadow Palette. The first color I go into is called Seashell. This palette is a neutral girl heaven. I just worked that shade all over my lid. That way we transition smoothly into the other shades, but all of these colors are light colors and they blend so beautiful together. I would absolutely check it out. Go swatch it or something. I feel like you guys will enjoy it. And the shimmers that are in this palette just match. They match perfectly with all of the other ones. And the video footage that I have does not show how beautiful this palette is. But yes, okay, I take Seashells and the color Warm Rose and Nude, and I blend all of those shades together. That's what I'm doing here. And, you know, just going back and forth, making sure that I blend everything really nicely. I take the same exact colors and pull them down on my lower lash line. And just blend, blend, blend. Then I take the shade Truffle, it's the darker brown that's in the palette, and just really deepen out my eyes like this. And I have to go in a little bit, or a little extra, to blend that out because I saturated the color so much in one positioning. So if it looks a little splotchy, I go in later because I don't realize that I didn't blend it as well as I should have, and just blend it back and forth like this. And I like working with all the mattes first, and then I go in with the shimmers later, and then I'll clean up the mess. And that's what I'm doing now. I'm taking the shade Golden Light. I will say with these eyeshadows, they work much better with your finger and a spongy type of brush instead of a, you know, hair brush. And sorry, everybody's waking up now. You can hear everyone talking. And yeah, that's why you'll see me ditch the brush and just start using my finger. And I mix the shades Rose Gold, Golden Light, and Shimmering Pearl is what I put in my inner corner. Apply your mascara. And this is what I'm showing you here. I find that the brush, the bristles, it doesn't apply the color as well as a sponge would, or your finger. So yeah, just use your finger. Then I'm gonna go in and highlight my brow bone like so, and I use the lightest shade in the palette. It's called Swan. Next, I'm going in with the Too Faced Complexion Enhancing Highlighting Palette in the Turn Up the Light collection. Dude, this soft focus powder, I put it underneath my eyes. I put it on one side first so you can see. And do you see how it like just blurred it just a little bit and gave it a little bit more brightness? I liked it, immediately liked it first impression. So I just put it on my nose and on my chin. Right? Doesn't that look beautiful? It's not too much, and it didn't look heavy on my skin. And then the two shades on the outside are highlights, Glow and Dazzle, so I just mix the two. And this would be perfect for a girl who likes to look highlighted but not overly highlighted. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not blinding by any means, but it's natural and glowy, and that's what I love so much about this. It'd be perfect for every day. The normal, typical, doesn't wear a lot of makeup kind of girl, I feel you would love this thing. It has all three powders in one, and it's just amazing. I love it. First impression. Up next is blush, and I'm just using this peach shade by Clinique. You don't need much of this at all, and I tend to like peach shades more than other shades. I just feel like it matches so many eye looks. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm just melting it in with the highlight, and then of course blend it out with another brush. Then I'm going to set my face with this Tarte spray. Let that dry down. Then for lipstick, I'm using this Bare Minerals Mineralist. I loved this lipstick as well. This doesn't feel super heavy on your lips. It's hydrating. And again, I think this would be perfect for the girl who doesn't like wearing a lot of lip product. Does that make sense? It sits on your lips and looks pretty. But that's the complete look, you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Love you guys.